Just wanted to show everybody my Biopod setup. Open up the door. There's a little tab up here you can pull on, swings open pretty nice. Back on the living wall, filled this all in with sphagnum moss. Had some brown and green sphagnum moss. Kind of blended that together so it didn't look just like brown on the back wall, even though it should eventually all turn green and kind of have a nice backdrop. It's pretty wet, so that means the irrigation system's working well. Kicks on 5 minutes every hour, I think. Light panel works well. Day-night cycle is on automatic. I tried to switch it to custom, but couldn't really figure it out. I'm sure I'll play around with it and get her down eventually. Puts out UVA, UVB, and infrared for heat. I got some driftwood in here. Don't know if this setup's going to stay exactly like it is, but that's what I did for now. I kind of want to have a piece coming across here, so when I do get my gecko, that's going to go in here. He's got somewhere high to climb and hang out and camouflage himself. Planted some plants. These are gold ribbon plants. I got some big ones back here. This is an umbrella plant. I put some live moss on some of these pieces of wood, and they should eventually grow in and attach to the wood and spread a little bit. There's some hitchhikers in there. These were looking pretty sickly a couple hours ago, but they're starting to spring back to life. Don't know what they are, so it'll be interesting to see what they turn into. For my substrate here, I use the tropical blend soil mix and sphagnum moss I mixed together in a tote and put it in here. Should help retain moisture and keep the humidity level pretty high. Down here, my drainage layer, I put just gravel. I rinsed it with water. I didn't soak it, but just rinsed it with water, get some of the particles and stuff out of it. Then I filled that up with water. And that's the water that's used to cycle up through the living wall and is filtered by the moss on the back wall. I still need to get some springtails and isopods and stuff to put in to the soil to be a cleanup crew, which will help take care of any waste and whatnot that the gecko leaves behind. Put a little water dish back here. Haven't filled it up yet, but yeah, looking pretty good so far. Still need to put some plants in here that I'm going to be receiving hopefully next week or the week after, free from Biopod. So that'll be pretty awesome. Some climbing vines and stuff. A couple issues that I ran into is some leaks coming out of this piece right here, which this reservoir connects into down at the bottom. You can see the little thing that plugs in there. There's a little stream of water that likes to run down the side here, so it doesn't just like to go straight down in that hole. It comes back out and up a little bit. But looking forward to finding a fix for that. And then I also noticed a puddle forming down here when the rain cycle starts. I kind of researched a little bit, and apparently it's a bad check valve down there. So pretty common and known issue, and they're pretty quick to replace that check valve. Apparently they have a better one that they're sending out now, so that'll be awesome to get all that straightened out. Started a cricket culture over here. Not their final place that they're going to be raised, but I just threw them in here because I had this tote. Put some kale in there so they had something to eat. Start loading them up on nutrients, but a little early since I don't have anything to feed them to yet. I just wanted to get going so I don't have to keep buying crickets all the time. I started off trying to escape this model, but when I was removing the false bottom, the back just kind of popped off. So a little bit of silicone from Baumgart's or an aquarium grade silicone from a pet store will fix that pretty easy. Otherwise, I don't know of any issues with that one. The lights worked fine when I first turned it on, and the aeration and ventilation pumps turned on and were humming right away, so I at least know that those were working. I'd have to test the water pumps and irrigation cycles and stuff in that eventually, but I just wanted to get one tank set up, so after that one fell off, I didn't want to have to wait for the silicone to cure, so I just switched to my other model, and that one was perfectly fine. A couple qualms: the back wall and the false bottom, the plastic that they use, was a little cheaper than I thought it would be, but I was able to delicately get everything in there. I just had to be a little careful, but functions pretty well, so the concept is good. But looking forward to having this grow and kind of see what happens after I get more plants and stuff in there and get everything finalized. Should be a pretty sweet rainforest setup, and eventually hopefully get a gecko to put in here, so that would be awesome.